Hello there, and welcome to this third video in this series, How to Balance Chemical Equations. Today we're looking at reactants, products, coefficients, and subscripts, also known as the key terms in balancing chemical equations. So let's go into what we have. Now, before you can successfully balance any chemical equation, you must understand some key terms. Alright, so let's break them down one by one. The first key term we're looking at is the term called reactants. Reactants are the starting substances in a chemical reaction. They are the ones that begin or start a chemical reaction. Now, they are the ones that also undergo change during the reaction. If you remember, according to the law of conservation of mass, matter cannot be created or destroyed, it can only be changed from one form to the other. So reactants are the ones that are changed from one form to the other. For example, look at this equation that I have at the bottom left corner of the screen. We have hydrogen combining with oxygen to give us water. In this case now, hydrogen or H2 is a reactant. Oxygen or O2 is also a reactant. So all together now, hydrogen gas and oxygen gas are the reactants. I hope that is clear. The next thing we have is the product. The next thing we have is the product. Products are the new substances that are formed as a result of the reaction. For this, my example of hydrogen combining with oxygen to form water, the product here is H2O, also known as water. Now, look at this example. You're going to love it. Even me watching this right now, I'm very hungry with this. All right, so here is a very good example. Cooking jollof rice is like a chemical reaction. I'm sure some of you watching this right now, your parents at home at one time or the other may have cooked a meal of jollof rice, maybe during Christmas or Salah or during any of these festive periods. So cooking jollof rice is like a chemical reaction. The ingredients here, they are the reactants. On the left hand side, you can see my ingredient, my cabbage, my beef, my raw rice, tomatoes, onions, and what have you. So those are the reactants. Those are the things that you join together and cook to produce the jollof rice. Now, the process of combining and cooking them is the chemical reaction, and the jollof rice that you eat is the product. I hope that is clear. Alright, now the next key term we want to look at is the term called coefficients. Now, coefficients are the large numbers placed in front of a chemical formula in an equation. They show you how many molecules or moles of a substance are involved in the reaction. Now, what do I mean? You have at the bottom left corner of my screen, I have an example. You can see there are red arrows pointing to some numbers here. What does this mean now? The 2 or the big number 2 in front of H2 and H2O, they are called coefficients. You can see my red arrows pointing at the coefficients. What are they and what do they do? They tell us that there are 2 molecules of hydrogen gas reacting to form 2 molecules of water. So in other words, whatever a coefficient is telling you the number of molecules of a substance that is present in a reaction. So coefficients are the numbers that help us to balance an equation so that it can obey the law of conservation of mass. I hope it is clear. So I'll take it one more time. Coefficient tells us the number of molecules that are present or that are available in a chemical reaction that is taking place. Now, the next key term we want to look at is the term subscripts. The next key term we want to look at is the term subscripts. Subscripts are the small numbers. Just like we have big numbers, we also have small numbers. They are the small numbers that are written below the symbol of an element in a chemical formula. They show how many atoms of that element are present in one molecule of a substance. Now, here's this example that I gave in the previous slide. Now, you can see the arrows are pointing to something different here. They are pointing to the smaller numbers. Those small numbers, they are called subscripts. Now, in this case, the small number 2 in H2O is called a subscript. Why? It means that each molecule of water contains 2 hydrogen atoms. and one oxygen atom. Subscripts cannot be changed when balancing an equation, only coefficients can be changed. So a coefficient tells you the number of molecules, while a subscript tells you the number of atoms that are present. Also, subscript shows the number of atoms of an element present in a reaction, while coefficient shows the number of molecules that are present. I hope that is clear. Now, the next key term we want to look at is the term that is called state symbols. State symbols. Now, what is a state symbol? A state symbol is used in a chemical equation to show if a substance is a solid, a liquid, or a gas or an aqueous solution. Now, look at this example. I have this example of a chemical reaction that is ongoing. We have a chemical equation for the combustion of propane, C3H8, combining with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide and water. Now, if you look very closely, there are letters, there are numbers, and then there are some small letters that are contained in small brackets after every chemical molecule here. You can see we have a letter G, we have a letter G, we have a letter G, and then we have a letter L. What does this mean? Whenever you see the letter L, it means that it is a liquid. L stands for liquid, S stands for solid, G stands for gas, and then AQ stands for aqueous solution. What does this mean? Solid means, of course, you know what solid means. Liquid, of course, you know what liquid means. Gas, in a gaseous state, and then aqueous solution means it is dissolved in water. It is dissolved in water. I hope you're following with this lesson. So up next, we want to be looking at the law of conservation of mass. I'm going to be taking it step by step so that you can follow. I don't want this video to be excessively long, but before that, I have packaged this entire lesson, this entire playlist of all these videos that have been going on into an ebook. This ebook contains step-by-step guides to balancing equations. There are multiple balancing methods that are explained. There are fully worked out equations for you, and then there are practice problems for you to try out your skills with. And then my favorite is there is a $10 giveaway challenge that is contained inside this ebook. Okay, so someone will be walking back home with a cash prize of $10. It will be given for the task of completing a challenge and then being the first to submit the correct answer to that challenge on a particular date. All the details are contained in this ebook, and you need to hurry because it will be going just for the giveaway price of $1. Okay, so this is a giveaway price of $1, and it will not last forever. The price is going back to the original cost of $5, and once that giveaway challenge ends, that will end on Thursday, the 20th of March 2025. So if you want to get this ebook, hurry now. The barcode is on the screen. Scan it or click the link in the description or my bio. So up next, we're going to be looking at the law of conservation of mass. That is the core principle of balancing chemical equations. I will see you in that video.